birth control, and these methods are permanent methods of birth control. In our previous class, we have discussed about different types of birth control methods, in which the very first method discussed by us was the natural methods of birth control, which included periodic abstinence, in which coitus is avoided for 10 to 17 days of the menstrual cycle, in which there are chances of ovulation to occur. The second method was known as lactation amenorrhea, in which a lactating mother, as she is producing milk and feeding the young one, the chances of ovulation are very less. And in this duration, if the coitus is being done, then also there are no chances of fertilization to occur. However, both these methods are not very reliable, as sometimes lactating mothers start ovulating earlier also. The third method that was being discussed was coitus interruptus, in which the male withdraws the penis from the vagina of the female before ejaculation. So before the sperms are released, the penis is being withdrawn out, and so there is again no chance of sperm to enter. However, all three natural methods are not very effective, as the chances of fertilization always remains there. The other methods that are included was the use of physical barriers. Physical barriers are those devices made up of rubber or latex, which are used by males or females to prevent the transport of the sperm or egg, as well as they are used for preventing from sexually transmitted diseases. These include the use of condoms, the use of diaphragms, cervical caps and warts. These methods are also used, like use of cervical caps and warts is also done along with the use of some chemical methods, in which foams, jellies and creams are being used in the vagina of the female. These creams or jellies, when applied to the vagina of the female, they are having spermicidal activity. This spermicidal activity will be responsible for killing of the sperms as soon as they enter into female reproductive tract. The next method, which can be very efficient, is the use of intrauterine devices, where copper T, copper 7 are the copper releasing devices, hormone releasing devices like LNG20 and progestasert, or Lippes loop like non-medicated devices are being placed in the uterus of the female, which makes the movement or motility of the sperms decrease and reduces the chances of the fertilization by making the uterus unsuitable for the implantation. Other method was use of oral pills, in which mini pills or combined pills were used, made up of either progesterone or made up of either estrogen-progesterone combination. This combination will be inhibiting the ovulation, makes the mucus of the cervix thick for not penetrating of the enzyme, so that no penetration of the sperm can occur. So that can be one such method used. Non-steroidal pills like Saheli are also included in the oral pills. Lastly, we had a technique in which implants were being used, and implants were small devices like a matchstick-like structure, which are being placed beneath the skin by making a small incision in the skin, and these implants will be continuously producing the hormones which will inhibit the ovulation. So these all methods were being discussed by us. Lastly, we are going to discuss about the permanent method of birth control. अब बर्थ कंट्रोल के लिए परमानेंट मेथड जिसकी रिवर्सिबिलिटी बहुत ही पुअर है उसे कहा जाता है स्टरिलाइजेशन टेक्निक्स. व्हाट इट इज कॉल्ड? स्टरिलाइजेशन टेक्निक्स. अब ये जो स्टरिलाइजेशन टेक्निक्स होती है उनमें दो टेक्निक्स इन्वॉल्व होती है, एक होती है वेसेक्टॉमी और एक होती है ट्यूबेक्टॉमी। वेसेक्टॉमी जो टेक्निक है दैट इज बीइंग परफॉर्म्ड इन द मेल्स एंड ट्यूबेक्टॉमी इज परफॉर्म्ड इन द फीमेल्स। वेसेक्टॉमी में क्या किया जाता है, तो स्मॉल कट इज मेड इन द स्क्रोटम, a small cut is made in the scrotum, and through the scrotum the doctor will be injecting and making a cut in the vas deferens. The vas deferens is being cut and both the ends of the vas deferens are being tied, or else a loop like structure can be made in this vas deferens. This loop like structure is tied with a thread and therefore it will prevent the transport of the sperms. So sperms will not be able to move further in the vas deferens. And once this happens, obviously there will be block in the transport of the sperms. So that can be considered as a permanent treatment to prevent the fertilization. So a cut is made in the vas deferens and the ends are being tied up. The cut is being made through the scrotum. So first a small incision has to be made in the scrotum, from where the expert doctors or nurses, they will be reaching the vas deferens in the males and they will make a cut and tie it. It will block the sperm transport. Similarly, in the females the technique which is useful is known as tubectomy. In tubectomy, the small incision is made in the abdomen or it can be even done through the vagina. In the abdomen, once a small cut or incision is being made, it will reach the fallopian tube and the ends of the fallopian tube are being cut and tied with the help of a thread. And therefore, as the fallopian tubes are blocked, the chances of ovulation are not there. Ovulation will occur, but for the chances of transport of the egg will be reduced. And once the egg transport is blocked, what will happen? There are no chances of fertilization to occur. So that method in females is known as tubectomy. So both these techniques are ultimate techniques of birth control. Both these techniques are ultimate techniques of birth control. The next important topic that we are going to discuss is medical termination of pregnancy. Medical termination of pregnancy, which is also known as abortion or induced abortion, is being legalized in India in the year 1971. Here, the fetus is being terminated before 12 weeks of pregnancy. The fetus is terminated or aborted before the 12 weeks of the pregnancy. In what cases MTP can be done? MTP can be done if the couple is having a child due to an unprotected coitus, or the child or the fetus is due to, or there is conceiving due to any of the unwanted rape case, or it can be done if the child or mother's health is at a risk, or if the child is having some severe deformity in the body organs, right? Like proper heart development has not occurred, viability of the heart and the organs is not there, brain development has not occurred, spinal cord has not developed. In such chromosomal abnormality cases, MTPs are being allowed. MTPs are safe maximum up to 20 weeks of the pregnancy, after which MTPs are usually not performed. In very severe cases, maximum MTP can be done up to 28th week. Up to 28th week it can be done in very severe cases in which some of the defects are being detected very later on in the pregnancy. So these all are important things. Now this can be done in two ways. MTP can be spontaneous also. Spontaneous मतलब कई बार फीमेल में ये जो अबॉर्शन है, टर्मिनेशन है प्रेगनेंसी का, वो बहुत ही अर्ली स्टेज में हो जाता है, दैट इज इन 4 weeks itself of pregnancy. When the female herself is not knowing that she is pregnant, then at that time also MTP, that is abortion, can happen. which is termed as miscarriage. And as it has occurred spontaneously, it is called spontaneous MTP. Induced MTP is when a medicine or the surgical removal of the fetus is being done. By medicine also, the growth of the fetus can be stopped and the menses can be allowed up to 12 weeks. But if after 12 weeks it has to be done through the vagina, and it has to be cleared out through the whole fetus, and all the regions have to be removed out, which requires expert doctors and nurses. So here, that was the topic of MTP. So today we have discussed about the sterilization technique and MTP. In the next lecture we are going to talk about the sexually transmitted diseases. The sexually transmitted diseases are the diseases which will be transmitted through the sexual contact, and they are also known as venereal diseases. Most of the sexually transmitted diseases can be treated. Most of the sexually transmitted diseases can be treated except hepatitis, genital herpes and the HIV. These are some of the diseases which do not have any treatment. MTPs pass on due to either using an infected syringe also, but they also pass if a person is having already a sexually transmitted disease and coitus has been done with another person, then it can pass from one person to another very easily. STDs are being caused by several bacteria, some of the viruses. It can be caused by protozoans, it can be caused by helminths, and therefore there are several diseases which are included in sexually transmitted diseases. The overall symptoms are itching, swelling, development of water-filled blisters, painful urination. These all are some of the symptoms of sexually transmitted diseases. In extreme cases, they can lead to stillbirth, they can lead to abortion, they can even lead to pelvic inflammatory diseases and cancer of the reproductive tract. So any such severe problem can occur if the STD is not being properly treated. So in the next class we will begin with sexually transmitted disease caused by bacteria.